What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Sarlacc Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 195, being recorded on February 1st, 2023. I am your host, Darth Moocher. I've got Scott Solo here.
What's up, nerds?
Bootleg Joe.
Hello.
Grand Admiral Franz.
Good evening.
And Ernie, the fallen polite Admiral Franz.
What the?
Hey, you got it figured out.
Hello.
That's Ernie, everybody. I love
How's
it.
it going? Nice
Awesome.
to be here. No 30-second warning. Thanks, Marco. All right.
30 seconds. Oh, yeah. I usually give you guys a little 30 seconds.
did.
But, I had to get up and get comfortable real fast. So before we get into all the Star Wars talk and news and everything that dropped today and Bad Batch and all the good stuff, we have our Patreons we want to give a special shout out. So kick it over to Scott, and so he can take it away.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. Okay. Thank you for being... We appreciate all of you Patreon members. We really do. And if anybody wants to join us, become a Patreon member, go to patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest Podcast. Donate $1 or $2 to the cause. And, you know, it's donations like that that enable the Fallen Fett to have sound effects on his device, right? And I may request never do that one again. So and with that,
That's better.
that's much better.
Whenever there's a good point being, when there's a good point being made, we all need to get on board with it. That's what comes on, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I love
that.
it.
I like that.
Star
A lot.
Tours.
So a special shout out to Matt Logic 44, our latest Patreon member. Thank you, Matt Logic, for joining
Matt
us.
Logic.
Next week, you'll have a
Thank you.
special graphic. I didn't have time to put together this week. Eric Grubb, Nicholas Schaefer, Ryan and the Stargers, Cliff, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod podcast on the Red 5 Network, Flavy Davy, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude podcast, Don the Dad Dorn. This is usually where I say Justin Vanilla Thunder, but I'm not gonna because he isn't anymore. Mervine, I did say it anyway.
We miss you, Justin. We miss you, Justin.
It just rolls off the tongue. Mervine, Gavin Connor of the All Cure Holy Hour podcast, who it's funny, he was in Costa Rica, but he messaged me to say he and his son still played Bad Batch Bingo.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
Brandon and Anya
Cool.
Epler, AJ from the Forbidden Panel, and our little buddy, Fanboy Mike.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. And again, feel
Bye-bye.
so inclined. Bye-bye.
I need the.
You got to get that one in there.
Yeah, I really do. Bye-bye. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right,
I do.
Scott. Well, I see the pit is being digested, and Mando
is.
Mike is actually in here for the first time in a long time. He's on
his
lunch break. So
So we want to shout out Skyrider, Don the Dad Dorn, Gordon, Gavin Connor of the Holy Hour podcast. He's in there too. Hey, look at that. Bootleg Joe. Wait a minute. He's right next to me. How could you be in so many places at once? It's amazing. Mando Mike, William Scott Crawford. Hey, what's up, buddy? Good morning from Scotland. Let's see. Santo 1414, the Sabersmith, and KG. What is up, everybody? Welcome aboard.
awesome. And
Welcome
Gordon's
aboard.
already starting controversy here, is saying I'll go out on a limb and say that the Bad Batch was the top episode so far. So we'll get into that.
I agree,
in a
but
minute.
we'll get into that.
You agree? That's
Oh.
funny.
I do agree.
On
That
a
says a lot
limb,
about-
on a Kashyyyk episode. I like what he did there.
Yeah.
Or not. Or
That was so not intentional.
No, sorry.
No.
Shame. Where's our
Laser
graphic?
blast
Shame.
effects, please.
Gordon
Yeah.
said it.
Gordon said it.
Not me.
That's
Gordon wants some laser blast
I
effects. please,
know. I
Ernie.
need
Yeah,
those
well-
ones too.
some
pew-pews.
lightsabers, maybe.
Send
I
them
don't
on
know.
over.
As soon as Justin gets back on our Patreon, maybe we can.
Maybe. Thanks,
Maybe.
Justin. Yeah, that's why we don't have those ones yet. I can
Let's
only
not-
afford the small pack. And
Yeah,
that was
let's
it.
not
Oh,
let's not go
man.
into like any kind of hardships he might be having. It's just like whatever, forego all that. No, that's so funny.
Oh, my
But
God.
we
That's
love all you
hilarious.
guys. So, So before we go into the Star Wars content that we're currently involved in, I know that we have 1 month away for Mando season 3. So like 27 days, right? Including today. So I started my Mando rewatch already. I started it yesterday. So I started, going through. Yeah, and it just gives me such good feelings that the show exists. And I mean, I don't want to get into like the Mando stuff, but damn, I'm excited for it. I really am excited for 3. But yeah, so you guys have started your rewatch too, huh?
Oh yeah,
I haven't.
Nice.
I haven't yet. It's,
okay.
I'm scheduled to start it this week.
Yeah, I was gonna wait till it got closer. Yeah, I was gonna wait till it got a little closer, like towards the end, so I can go blend right in. But honestly, I was just like, I want to watch some Star Wars right now, and Mando's on my mind, so I'm full force into it. Pun intended on that too. So,
force, okay.
But wasn't as funny, I guess. So, but
wait. Ha! Okay.
There you go. That's all you do.
I prefer the cricket. See, you should feel worse than I did.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, Gordon did.
Yeah.
I didn't feel bad at all. You made Gordon feel bad.
Skyrider. Yeah. So, Mando's
should be a song, Mando on my mind.
I'm with you, Moocher. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into the Mando stuff. But yeah, Hasbro. Let's talk toys a little bit because today was the first live stream of the year for Hasbro for Star Wars. This being the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. So 40 years ago, Return of the Jedi entered our lives, and but they've been all of last year with the Black Series and the Vintage Collection, all the action figure stuff. They had been advertising the 40th anniversary and giving us all these previews and new packaging and kind of running the gambit, right? So that's expected. But I think Chris got the most exciting, but most the brunt of, well, besides the Vintage Collection with Scott, but
he might have got the blunt too.
Yeah, you got the brunt of the.
100%.
Yeah. So Chris, what did the pops drop today?
Oh, my guts dropped today. I was like, good Lord. I opened it up. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I got a couple pops and a couple more pops and some bigger pops and some Jesus Christ. What are you doing?
Like they were all deluxe.
Like they got $300 out of me today almost. And I'm like, come on, Funko.
It had usually us doing that,
right?
And it's
Walmart had an exclusive Max Rebo with his piano.
Looks cool.
Hot Topic had an Emperor in his throne, which is rad, right? So I was really into that. What was the other exclusive? That was Hot Topic. GameStop had an Ewok banging on the helmets.
Yeah,
so nice. That was cool. There's Leia in disguise. There's a 3PO on his on the chair.
Yeah.
Another Wicket with a spear, which is dumb because they did that a couple years ago.
Okay.
Then they have a Luke versus Vader on the Death Star, and above them, it's in front of the window, right? The big circular window, the half circle.
The Emperor's throne.
They left a gap where you can put the Emperor there, so they thought that through pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right.
But what got me was this damn Jabba's skiff.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's going to be 4 pieces. Right now they showed the end piece, which is Chewie. The next piece was Luke with a lightsaber. You know you're going to get Blind Han. Then you got to decide if you're going to get Lando or Boba Fett on the other.
That's what I was saying, Lando or Fett.
Right. But the kicker is the sons of bitches are $35. And I'm like, whoa. That's $140 for this stupid set.
That's crazy, man.
And I'm not going to get it.
Like I said, you're entering in deluxe territory for Black Series,
Yeah, I felt pretty ripped off. And what I'd hope they're not doing now too, because this is the first release since I meant to do a whole thing on this, but I got the Grogu with the Rancor pop in recently, and it's a really beautiful pop and it looks really cool. But the problem is, it's the only pop in all of these 500 and some odd different pops in here. The bottom's hollow. There's no base on the bottom on the base. And to me, that just takes away from it a little bit and makes it feel cheap.
Cheapens it.
Right?
Cheapens it, yeah.
So don't cheapen it and then jack the price up and all this with all these come out. So I'm a little worried about that. When I got that one, I picked up a whole bunch of the bigger ones just to check. I'm like, no. I said, they're not one of them. None of them. Not a
Gotcha.
Falcon, not anything. It's the only hollow one out of all of them. Oh, speaking of Jabba too, sorry. There's another. This would be the third Jabba. But another Jabba on a proper throne with Salacious B. Crumb attached.
Saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Not
I already
like
have
the
a
old big one?
ass. They have a big ass one right now.
Yeah.
It's huge. But the throne is cardboard, right? So now it's his proper throne. And then they also have just a regular size 4.5-inch one, which is goofy, but
A quick question for you then. How many battle droids were up for pre-order?
Jesus. I think I have I'm gonna say 540 Star Wars pops, individual Star Wars pops, and not one effing battle droid.
Not one battle droid. That is shocking.
And
to me.
I must have 20 on pre-order, and not one. And
here's
come
the
on,
thing
Funko.
too.
Help me.
Talk about anniversaries. It's also the 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars cartoon this year too. You would think. I mean, I know you're probably going to get 500 more clones, right?
Yeah.
But not
could you imagine not having stormtroopers? Right? And
Right,
I know you would argue that the clones take the place of the stormtroopers, but they're not. Those are heroes. So you need the villains. The battle droids are
They
the
need somebody to
stormtroopers.
fight.
They're iconic, dude.
Yeah.
Where the hell are they?
Black Series, we have 4 different variations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And or three or 4.
I just want one, man. One. And it might be the only thing I'll ever buy a multiple pop up. I'll probably buy 4 of them just to have 4 around the clones because there's so damn many of them.
Yeah.
It's just come on.
Maybe they're waiting for that right time to make the battle droids their farm boy Luke. You know what I mean? They'll get every battle damage position, every single. Here's 20 of them. And
Grogu is damn near
farm boy Luke status.
Yeah, there's just so
even the Mando's getting there.
Many, yeah.
Mando is
nothing
definitely
but
there.
Mando and Grogu, and he's got 2 rows. There's honest to God 38 Grogu pops.
Yeah,
just get out of town.
Gordon and Saberson both feeling your pain too. Just when I think I'm out of the pop collecting game, it's so funny. Like I live vicariously through a lot of people's collections, right? And especially Chris, because I don't collect the pops. I know Ernie did, and Joey has some, and Scott did for a little bit there. But Chris is all in on these, and I see these pictures, and I'm like, oh, I want that Jabba. It's like no, I can't, because it's like crack, one falls into the other, and you see, guys, I had none about 5 years ago. I had nothing, so
nothing.
Nothing.
I
have a
not
problem.
a damn figure.
No.
You didn't have a.
I'm what you call an addict, in the most traditional sense of the word. So. But I look at some of those, dude, and I'm like, those are really cool. I can't wait to see them in Chris's room. You know what I mean? So.
We got Tim Van Glider on Facebook watching Bad Batch and us at the same time.
Awesome.
Nice. Yay.
Well, get it in, because we'll be talking about it. We'll get that all the spoilers. So Bad Batch is 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or whatever it was.
Good size episode today too. It was 27, wasn't it? It was decent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
liked it. Sorry,
Miss Sunflower.
So
I did too.
Dropping by to say I hate Trandoshans. Yeah, I know why, because they beat up the Wookiees. But on the collecting side again, what we also had dropped was Black Series, very minimal Black Series, but we are getting a we are getting a Hoth Rebel Trooper. I mean a Hoth Endor Rebel Trooper with swappable heads or faces like they did with the Hoth Trooper, which is great. It's so funny because it's coming with the old man's sculpt that we all associate it with Rex.
Yeah.
You know how many arguments I've seen online about that?
Oh no, what's going on in there?
So many arguments about him being Rex. And
oh really?
And
well,
it was so
who gives a damn?
Yeah.
Let's just all get a cool figure, and you can call it. You could call him Fred if you want to. Who cares? Just freaking buy the cool figure.
Oh no, we'll get the figure, but canonically, who is he? Is this Rex?
Is it Nick Sant or is it Rex? I don't care.
Yeah,
he'll be Rex on my shelf. He'll be Nick Sant on somebody else's shelf.
But the shelf equals the story. In canon, who is he?
It's my story.
That's
I want to call him Rex. I want to call him Rex. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. But that's what I want to know.
This is the Rumble Frenzy debate all over again.
Hey, when did all of a sudden nobody give a shit about canon? Scott's all, I don't care. Call him Frenzy. Call him Rumble. I don't care. Like, what? Canon. Who is he?
To me, he is Rex. If somebody wants to say, no, that's Nick Sant, fine. Call him whatever you want. But I'm calling him.
Man.
Nick Cannon with the army, a real true army builder.
Of all his kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, Scott.
Scott
I
is
hear
so
what you're saying.
open-minded about everything. He's like, I don't care who you love or what you call your toys. I don't care. Just do it.
Life is too short. Life is too short to argue about little plastic man,
Well,
dude.
first
It's
off, we
just
have to. I mean, Pablo Hidalgo said it was Rex, right? He just said, yeah, I like to think it's
Yeah.
Rex or whatever. But we don't know if Rex is even going to survive the Bad Batch at this point.
Yeah,
So-
they
Who is he?
I mean,
There
Rebels.
it is.
Stop it.
Who is he?
He's in Rebels.
Yeah, okay.
Who
After
is he?
what I meant was after like survive until yeah, but Ernie, in the cartoon,
I go by the
and-
cartoon.
well, then he was Rumble the whole time in the cartoon, always. The blue one, where is he? We're going off on a tangent, guys.
See?
We're going off on a tangent.
Whoa.
Sorry, guys.
Hey,
This is Rumble. Always been Rumble in the from the cartoon.
From the
continuity.
cartoon.
Scott had
Yes.
pointed out in the comic and the toys, and originally it was Frenzy, but
yes.
Yeah.
Mama call him Rumble. I'ma call him Rumble.
There you go.
I go by the same thing because
So-
you just the cartoon.
Speaking of the fact that
Set a frenzy
particular
out.
Endor Rebel Commando was, Captain Rex. Did you guys
Yeah.
see the Black Series Biker Scout helmet that is
I
coming
did.
out?
Oh,
I did.
yeah.
So
You
I
know-
we can all grow our beards out nice and white and put that on. We can all be Captain Rex.
Yeah, that might be my first Black Series helmet.
It is
Like,
happening.
Really,
Yeah.
No,
really,
but it's
yeah.
so scary because I wonder if it's gonna fit. That
Yeah.
slam down on the face is really scary.
It's
to me.
scary, right?
Yeah.
It really
I'll just
is.
put my hand here to slow it down a little bit.
That's always
I
that's
don't
always been
know.
the coolest helmet. Maybe not the most iconic,
Yeah.
but it's the coolest
'Cause
helmet, man.
It is the coolest, but these buckets are tight, right?
Yeah,
To say
yeah,
a Black Series,
I think the Black Series are pretty big, though. Like, I think
they're
they're
pretty
roomy.
big. Yeah, they're-
yeah.
Not on
I
my
haven't,
fat
I,
head.
I've never seen
Oh.
anything that fits me yet. I would just display it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's,
Well, display. Nothing wrong with displaying it. Trust me.
it's
So,
hard, but so I would like to say it's scary. Like, is it gonna
Yeah.
fit my cheeks? I go, like this, or what?
Nobody looks at what's
Freeze,
going on
Ewoks.
under the dome.
Yeah.
So
Ah,
I am gonna sound like Vader under there, just trying to
Yeah,
breathe
no,
while squeezing my cheeks.
Oh,
It was also a pretty good day for vintage collection figures. We got a new Vader coming out with Unmasked.
You
We got
got
Admiral Piet
hit
coming
hard.
out.
yeah.
Han Solo, Weequay. We got
Yeah.
they're re-releasing Captain Hauser from the Bad Batch.
Right,
with the
right,
right
because he
name.
originally, because I know that's funny too. Like, I don't know if you guys caught that. Like, I know we did, but how Hasbro was sculpting figures and they already had the packaging already, and then the show comes out, and the show, I guess they didn't even see the show beforehand, and the show was like, that's Captain Hauser. They had to repackage the entire figure that with Captain Hauser's,
Yeah, because he was
verbiage on
Captain
there.
Ballast. He was Captain
Yeah,
Ballast
it's
in
just-
the original
I'm like,
release.
they don't talk to each other. Like, I thought this was a,
And all that, those are your first four figures, the ones that came in that package for the three or four figures from the Bad Batch, including that one that was misnamed. We still don't have the Bad Batch in 3 3/4 inch. So
really.
yeah,
Really?
they're,
I
they're
thought-
coming. They're in the
Who are you
pipeline.
guys
but-
missing?
They're not-
All of them,
what's that?
right? Or
Yeah, none of them have come out.
Oh, I thought there was.
yeah, I
Nuh-uh.
didn't. That's a shocker.
Not yet.
Battle Droids, no Bad Batch. I mean, geez,
Wow.
like
Yeah.
They'll
Could've
come
swore-
out.
I mean, I'm
but we
waiting for the
have-
recolors right now. But
We have 2 Captain Hausers already, but we're not going to have the actual Bad Batch. So.
yeah. I was actually anticipating the new recolored, for season 2 Bad Batch, and I'm glad it's not out yet. I'm glad it's not pipelined yet because I'm actually debating whether to get them or not. I mean, instinct is like, yeah, I have my trigger finger ready to go. I'll buy them all, but then will I keep it? Because I have the Bad Batch sitting over there and they look awesome in their season 1 garb and stuff like that. So
Sadly,
don't know.
I was so
Season
busy
2
today.
outfits.
Was there a live stream today, or was this just all reported?
Yeah.
Hasbro Pulse live stream, Hasbro, yeah,
I
on
didn't
Star Wars.
Even know about it. Wow.
Yeah, nothing went pre-order today. Nothing went pre-order. It was all,
mine
like-
did.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, the
yeah,
pops did.
the pops did.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Um,
for the Black Series, though, we have the Revenge of the Sith poster style Darth Vader, which I
which
think
is actually cool.
it's a cool display, but I think it's a celebration exclusive. So I
It
don't know.
is.
Yeah, I don't know how we'll be
Oh.
able to get our hands on it.
Well,
Then
hopefully
we-
Pulse. Yeah, Pulse
Pulse.
has their
Hopefully.
convention
Hopefully.
exclusive. Yeah.
Then we had Clone Commander Jesse, which I know Jesse, my buddy Jesse, my best friend,
Yeah.
he's probably going to.
I like Jesse
all over
because he's
that
got
ticket.
the big tat, the
Face
symbol
tat.
on his the face tat.
Yeah.
So that's a good
We
one.
also had Kiatamundi, who's going to be a
Waiting
fan
for that
channel
one forever.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Oh, give me a pop at him, please.
He doesn't. They don't have one of him.
How are they
No.
gonna with that head? How are you gonna turn that head into a pop?
They have IG88, they or IG11, IG88, all these guys. They
Oh.
can pull off Coyote Monday, I'm sure.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I've thought
Okay.
about it many times. I don't know how it would look, but I've thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And then what else came out as far as I know? The Endor Troopers for Black Series.
Andor Troopers for Black Series, and then who else was it in Black Series?
Well,
It was,
I know the pipelines were Malgus, Darth
yeah.
Malgus, Joey. Come on, Darth Malgus, dude. I'm getting like 4 of them.
It was Darth Malgus, Ahsoka Loyalist helmet, and then Luke Skywalker with Grogu in his
yeah.
backpack.
I mean,
Those are
I'll
what?
get that because if
Oh.
Grogu comes with him, I'm getting them. Of course.
What size are those?
Black Series.
6-inch.
Those are Black Series?
Shit.
Yeah.
You said that. There's a holographic Luke pop I forgot to order from Entertainment Earth.
Oh, do
better
it. Get
hop
on it
on
right now.
But
oh,
the
man.
pipeline reveal for the vintage collection was super cool because we've got an Obi-Wan Kenobi versus battle damage Darth Vader coming out in a 2-pack.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
We also have the Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter coming out.
Right. I'm glad to
I-
see vehicles coming. I really am.
I
No matter
cannot
what. Like,
wait.
yeah. Yeah.
And then retro collection, we're getting Cad Bane, Jedi Luke from Book of Boba Fett, Grogu, Mandalorian with the dark saber,
Yeah.
Nomad Boba Fett, Tusken Raider, Fennec Shand, and Chrysanthemum.
The 5
Cassette.
seconds retro?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you do those?
I do. I love them because they fit right in with all my vintage figures. So
Yeah. They are pretty cool. Like if you have
Yeah.
the whole collection, I'm considering that N1 Starfighter to go with the Razor Crest because it's
Dude.
hopefully it's scaled and right and proportionally and whatnot, which it should be right.
Should
I
be.
might have to do that. Yeah.
Hey,
gonna
don't
be like
you guys
$200.
fret. I got it.
All
We're
right,
good
Chris
now.
is 100%
Oh.
complete today.
So we are
Paper
now
slaying.
well over $300 now. So we're clear.
congratulations.
That screw you Funko. I need a battle droid. I should own stock.
Wow.
Gordon's asking Chris, did you get the Obi-Wan on the Opie yet? Pop
I
already?
do. He's
Okay.
he's right there.
But I
Yeah.
mean, look at this. Look at this.
That's beautiful. I want
Yeah,
it.
it is great. Yeah, Miss
Yeah.
Sunflower, we're hoping that Pulse has the exclusives on the site. So
That looks like a coffee mug.
it did, didn't it?
It did at first. Look at it.
Yeah.
It does kind of look like the handle over there.
You know
Yeah.
Little-
You know what? Now I don't want it. Now I don't want it. It looks like shit. That's garbage.
Skyrider is asking, I think I heard somewhere that Hasbro will finally retool their undersized droids. Was he dreaming? I haven't heard anything like that. I didn't hear him mention that either.
There was a talk of a retooling on the Imperial officers. So there's going to be an all new body type for the Imperial officers, and Admiral Piet is the first one of that.
Oh, for
But
vintage.
Vintage collection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Where was he talking about?
I don't know if he's talking vintage or
I
stuff.
don't
I haven't
know.
heard anything like
Okay.
that on the Black Series, because I know they like to reissue figures, but
Mhm.
I think the officers are perfect as he's talking about the droids. There's not a lot of Black Series droids, so I'm assuming vintage
Oh,
collection.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
don't
Miss
remember
Sunflower.
hearing-
It's Chris. There's a question. Is there a B1 battle droid pop already?
she's.
No.
I think she's just messing with you, man.
No,
No.
and that's messed up to bring it up again. So let's go ahead and let's pull that band-aid off and go through the fact that
Twice in one episode.
Oh,
Man.
Skyriders
No.
talking about Black Series on the
Oh,
droids. No, it would be a
didn't
perfect
hear that.
opportunity for them to issue droids. How about that? We've only got like a handful. Not what R5, R2, 3PO. What other droids do we have besides IG88?
Battle droids.
Battle droids, but
Battle
like
droids.
where's FX7? Where's 21B? Where's
Yeah.
every? I mean, a Death Star droid. We have battle droids, but we do have battle droids.
Yeah, we've got we've got like Ned B and we've got B2 Emo, but Captain
Right,
Rex
yeah,
from the old Star Tours, and even Hondo's droid, but
But
there's
there's
still
so many. There's so many.
so many.
Oh,
Yeah.
where's TC-14?
I don't care.
The first
But,
droid
man, where's the
seen in
Death
Star
droid?
Wars. The Death Star droid. Mando Mike had to go back to work. See ya, man. Well, we'll talk to you later. We'll catch us on the replay.
And see, look what Miss Sunflower says. How messed up is that? It's going to be like a London exclusive. I won't be able to get to touch it.
Oh, that would
Yeah.
suck so bad. Oh my god.
That's going to make me cry like the day Scott told me I won't see the last.
Oh,
We won't live long enough to see the last Star Wars. Yeah.
I'll never forget that dude. Chris was so messed up. He really was. It
That's
was
what-
like
You rolled a tear.
How
You,
would you
uh,
know that
it
you
was
haven't
even
seen the
like, why
last?
would
You'll
you
be
say
gone.
that?
It put me on such a
Why would
downward
you say
spiral, man.
It
It
did.
was it was a mess.
I don't think he was
Yeah.
collecting pops back then.
I
I think that's what started it.
Yeah,
that's started the whole
everything.
I think the next 6 or 8 months was like a really bad rebound. You know, thing. It was,
Right.
it was
Yeah,
a mess. I was
It was
just
a chore to
it
get him back on the podcast for a while.
Yeah,
Suddenly, a massive pop collection was there. He's got this new tattoo all over his arm.
Yeah,
and
now it's all
like
Star
doubling
Wars. Like
down.
he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Oh my goodness.
I will become Star Wars if I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
did you guys read anything about the new that Fallen Order being delayed?
another. It's
Yeah.
April,
It
right?
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Jedi Survivor. But what was the initial release date? It was like March something, right? So it's only
Yeah,
It's only pushed back like a month. yeah. I would be more upset if it was like, look, we're delaying this until fall of this year or spring of next year. That's yeah.
Don, the question is the Ewok pop beating on the helmets in stores or online?
Oh.
It'll be both, but it's easier right now to get it online. They're there right now. So that
store?
the Ewok was GameStop.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then
I got a GameStop account, Dad. I'll get it for you. Don't worry.
Max
Nice.
Rebo was Walmart, and I forget. It was just a mess. I hate it.
Nice.
That's
Sabersmith saying April 28th for Survivor, I believe. So
There you go.
yeah, I mean it's a month pushback, a little bit like we can wait a month. We're good. We're good with waiting, right? So
I'm not even gonna play it, so I'm good waiting.
you still have squadrons
just-
in the cellophane.
Dude,
You do, don't you?
no.
Oh,
I
you
hope
did
we
play it
played
finally.
once. We played
Okay.
it once. Yeah,
I just finished Fallen Order last
I
week.
played
or right
one
before.
round of Fallen Order.
Oh,
It was fun.
I put it on
it's a good
Storybook, and
game.
it was fun.
Yeah,
It's a
When
good game on easy. Let's put it this way.
Yeah, you put that shit on easy. It's cool. You know what? That since I saw that was able to do that, then I started playing God of War, and I was like, oh, this is kind
Yeah.
of fun too. I just hate getting beat up all the time. It's okay when
Yeah.
I'm beating things up.
I
just gotta
real fast,
be a
real
wuss.
fast on the toy tech. I know Gordon had mentioned this, and Santos kind of echoing this. What do you think of the Trouble Bubble scrap? Going into GI Joe. GI Joe had a tremendous day today. By the
my
way,
God.
guys, I just want to throw that out there. I know this is Star Wars, but we're toy collectors. All
You guys
hail
talk,
the
I'll
GI
find a
Joe
photo.
team. Yeah,
I'll find
all
the
hail
photo
the
real
GI
quick.
Joe team. That's all I'm saying. The team
Yeah.
is killing it. Like. This is the true meaning of deluxe. Once Scott finds any of the other reveals today, the renders are not really reveals because we knew some of these were coming, but all the accessories that are coming with these, this is the true meaning of deluxe. So,
Oh, watch
Keep
your mouth,
talking.
Gordon.
yeah. I mean, it's just like unbelievable. The Trouble Bubble, I'm sure, will be more than Snow Job will be. Snow Job comes with just whatever accessories, but I wish Star
Then we
Wars would
got
take a note.
Scrap Iron coming. Scrap Iron's got a little
Come on,
tank
dude,
instead of
that's-
just a regular rocket launcher.
And all the blast effects and missiles and yeah.
Yeah, I've
Um,
got 2 images that are uploading right now. We can share just a second. You can go over them
Okay,
while I find
yeah.
the others.
Yeah, and I was kind of worried with the lack of Black Series announcements today and the abundance of vintage. I don't know if it's teeter-tottered on like just on purpose or is it saying something? Look at this, guys. Come on.
That's awesome. I gotta get that.
Yeah, I need 15 of them, like in various stages, taking off and flying around.
Where is this gonna be?
I think it didn't
All
say anything
pipeline
about
right now, man.
Yeah, it's pipeline, but it didn't say anything about exclusive. I don't think.
Mm-mm. I think they're supposed to be regular release, but
Okay.
we'll keep an ear out for them.
What do you guys
Yeah.
think a price point on the Trouble Bubble will be?
This will be $49.99.
They said
That's
that? Or you're
no,
guessing?
no.
I
I'm
think 60
thinking
bucks.
60,
I think
59.
I think 60
Damn.
bucks.
God, and I was like $24.99.
Well, they're 24
Jesus,
for
man,
the figure.
I thought 35 max, dude.
Yeah, well, that's what 35 would be very comfortable to get 15 of them. But I'm
Mhm.
thinking like double a figure, right? So $50.
I think you're thinking way too positively
I
there.
am probably, but
Yeah.
I mean, I
And
think
then we've
59 would
got
be scaring people away.
2-pack
But look
right
at all
there.
those accessories. Just check that. I mean, that's what I want with Star Wars, right? This is what we want with Star Wars. I don't care if it's
Yeah.
just blast effects. It's yeah, it's great stuff, man.
Force
They're
hands?
killing
Yeah,
it.
Can we get
they're
some force
killing it right
hands?
now.
No. Oh yeah, can we get some
No,
force
that's
hands?
what I'm saying.
like-
with your
yeah, absolutely.
saber
Mhm.
effects or anything like that. Some force hands would be like, look at that.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Look at
Scrap
scrap
iron
iron.
coming. And then
Oh, man.
every single GI Joe toy review I do, I say, "Oh my god, this was my favorite. This is my favorite." Seriously,
yeah.
Snow Job. Oh my god, Snow
Yeah.
Job was, yeah.
Yeah, Snow Job's
As a
awesome.
kid, he was the first action figure I ever got that came with that many accessories, and he
Yeah.
had that many accessories just about whenever. He had the skis, the backpack, and the. And
I
the
even love their
guns and-
face sculpts. I mean, they really take
yeah.
some time.
Face
to,
sculpts are
Yeah.
great,
They're
man.
just so good.
On all of them. And they're bringing back the good. Did you see that gun? They're bringing back the good guns.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah, not just the
Yeah, like
one
real
color
guns.
plastic. Yeah.
Because look at that. That's a dope gun that comes with Snow Job. That's
What's really
awesome.
cool is the little details in the figure in the Joe figures, and this is, I mean, we're talking toys, so the little details is the
And those
ammo
were
plate.
digital renders, though.
Those are
Mhm.
digital renders, but I can tell you as collecting them, very little difference in the final product to the other digital renders that we've had in the past. I mean, they do
Yeah.
such a great job.
I moved from Star Wars to Joe's, basically.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
I
I mean,
really
and
have.
I don't blame you. I really
I-
do.
and
I mean, I love the
They're that good.
Star Wars sculpts. I
Yeah.
think Star Wars Black Series sculpts to me,
Mhm.
they now is second to none. I think they nail it. I think the scanning technology is awesome. I mean, just look at Saul Guerrera's figure. I mean, just that
Mhm.
one. I mean, come on. But the Joes being taken from a render from like a cartoon comic or whatever, and not based off a real person. They do a good job of making every character their own personality. Yeah.
And another thing
Come
they
on.
do, yeah, I know, right? Right
I
there.
love these
Tomex,
guys.
Zema, they're
Yeah.
incredible. But another thing they've also do is where GI, in Star Wars back in the 80s, you had the 5 points of articulation, and then GI Joe comes out, and you've got bendable elbows, swivel arms, you've got the
Yeah.
knees, you've got the ball joints, you've got the ability, you have all the articulation, and that's what GI Joe has brought to the table too. They have taken the articulation that started out in the Black series, and they just doubled it. You've got the excessive articulation on them to the point where you can do just about any pose with them you can imagine, and they
they're
are
great.
incredible.
Yeah.
So,
Any
I love it.
those?
Yes, Chris.
any pose.
Oh. Maybe I will get into some GI Joes. I'm sure there's money to be made on the interwebs.
Of course there is. I was gonna say something. I'm not going to. We got to keep this PG. So, but it was right there. I'll tell you guys off there.
13.
So, do we want to hit Bad Batch Bingo first, or do we want to hit Bad Batch Bingo after we're done?
Let's do
reviewing
the
episode?
end. Or some of it we can do as we go, but let's do the end.
Okay, yeah. I'll there'll be a time. We'll yeah. Let's do this. We'll transition into the Bad Batch talk now. But yeah, we'll hit up Bingo as soon as we get our thoughts in there and whatnot. So
Oh, you know what?
sorry, Chris. You know what? What, Chris? What was that?
I was saying, you know what? Why not just start with the bingo? It'll take us to do a discussion. But you know what? Go ahead and do your intro thing. Just go.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Way to read the room there.
Do it again. Hey,
I'm good, man.
I don't know what you're doing. I can't read your minds. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
if we had more Patreon money, if
Well-oiled machine.
hire,
you
a
could hire
engineer.
better actors.
All I heard is
engineer. That's what I meant.
Wait a
That's
minute.
what I meant.
Are we getting paid for this?
I am.
Yeah. All right, guys. So Bad Batch breakdown. So episode 6 drop called The Tribe. We are 6 episodes in. We got 10 more to go. We could do let's do it. Bring up the bingo card, and then we'll talk. We'll go through it.
We're
Go
all
for it.
over the place.
Let's do it.
Hey,
Let's
this
do
was a great episode, by the way. I enjoyed the shit out of it.
So did I.
Yeah.
Take that.
All
Go
right.
ahead, Scott.
Here we go. So everybody get your Bad Batch bingo cards prepped. It is time to go through it. And boy, was this an Omega heavy episode.
She cleared her own card.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, man, she really did. So, all right, we're going to start top left. We're going to go through, and I'm just going to name off. If you guys picked up on something that I
Sure.
missed, go ahead and drop it in there, okay?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
First off, we have Tech says how smart he is. That is
Absolutely.
definitely in there. There is a narrow escape scene.
Always.
As there's always a narrow escape scene.
Yeah.
Omega shows incredible aim.
Twice.
Yep. I mean, it was deliberate this time. It wasn't even like,
Twice.
Yeah. Let me see. We go through. Okay, I was really surprised. This is the second episode in a row. Wrecker was neither confused nor did he hit anything. So
It's
that
because he
is-
wasn't in it.
yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, was he even in it? I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he drank down some Wookiee broth.
yeah.
Yeah.
We did have alien creature attacks.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
We have Omega tells someone what to do.
Oh yes. She didn't
Always.
ask. She didn't ask that we could take him home or take a sheik.
No.
She said we can do that.
Yeah.
Not can we do that?
Right.
We can do that.
Yep.
Get out
So-
of here.
Now, this is the only one I'm kind of on the fence about. Did we have a sad Omega scene,
I
or
think
was it
so.
more of a contemplative Omega scene?
I'm
'Cause
gonna.
she
You know
sat
what?
there and she kind of looked sad for a second.
Yeah,
but,
I
you
think
know.
she was sad because of the whole Wookiee catch.
I'll take it as emotional Omega scene
Okay.
and think that
Yeah.
can kind of go in the same family.
I'm gonna allow it.
Alright.
I'm gonna allow it.
I'm gonna allow it.
Okay. So, all right then. According to
That's-
Mooch and the Grand Admiral, we have a
Yeah.
sad Omega scene.
Yeah,
Uh, Omega doesn't listen.
of course.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
hell no.
Omega never listens.
Of course.
Dude,
I mean,
dude,
come on.
And then we don't have anything for the next line. I don't think we have anything else on this level. we
Let's
do
see,
have.
No.
No, they were
Uh,
blasting people.
Yeah, shocking,
Yes.
right? They were.
Yeah.
They were
straight up
taking
murdering.
people out.
Yeah.
even
See, that's
Clones.
what I say though. They just want to stun their brothers. They don't want to kill them. Everybody else, game on.
You know, I got to
Yeah.
think about that in a minute. I just think that Star Wars is racist, and it's hard to kill. It's hard to kill humans, but it's not hard to kill droids and aliens. And I think that's how it is, and I think it's kind of messed up.
It is
All
messed
right.
up. Yeah,
We've
for
got. Did Omega outsmart anybody?
Oh,
she
I-
outsmarted the droids, right? At the. I would think.
I feel like she did, but I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
I
and
can't
she like. I
remember.
mean, there was a whole negotiation thing with the droids or whatever, and I don't know.
She started
I don't know. I'm
watching.
on the air
I
on that
really-
one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't think she outsmarted anybody. On
If
this
if
episode.
anyone wants to dispute that and they're close to
Yeah.
a bingo, let us know. If you're
Yeah.
not close to a bingo, don't bother disputing it.
Don't bother. Yeah. Exactly.
And then on the final line at the very bottom, dead center, we have mission
Yeah.
goes bad because the
Yep.
mission always goes
Yeah.
bad.
If I like I was in our little private chat, I said I would never hire these guys to do anything because have they come home with anything yet? Like
No.
seriously. Well, this
Yeah,
season
worst
especially.
I think you hire them if you want something to not go if you want something to not go right, you hire them.
Yeah,
Think
they're,
it's
the-
like-
they're the
this is the
Suicide
second-
Squad, and they keep surviving. And it's
Well,
like,
this is
oh,
the second
sorry.
episode. They went to one planet, end up on another planet. You know what I mean? So it's like detour. Let's do
Yeah.
something else. Yeah, and it was funny how what their mission was this time was they were selling fake chain codes to a droid syndicate, basically like a
Yeah.
criminal organization of droids, which was cool. I like that.
That
right?
was really, really, really neat. Yeah.
yeah.
And here's
Yeah.
I'm smarter than everybody else. picture,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Myself. He should just say all by myself.
That was
And then we've got, of course,
perfect
Omega.
aim.
No,
Perfect
Yeah,
aim
perfect aim.
above
yeah.
Gungi.
This
But
is-
the
I like this.
droids were pretty neat. They were like almost L3 heads, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But just
Well,
a neat, different set of droids, and having a gangster or underworld organization run by droids was pretty neat. Oh, this scene he has up right here is the "Stop! You're hurting him." This is where Omega drives
Yeah.
me nuts. Right? There are obviously big droids beating up on a Wookiee that is way stronger than you. Why are you getting involved? Why does she always put herself in a position with
That's
no
her
backup?
MO.
But I get it's a kid's show. I get it's what happens. I get it's supposed to be this way. But golly, it's madness.
I like this comment here. First off, Mr. Scott Dub, welcome to the show. I like this comment here. That's when we're talking about this little droid war syndicate kind of stuff being sentient or whatever. The droid revolt in Solo. Viva la Resistance. I think that's what set this up. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that theory going forward.
Yeah, this is they're always raised droids and aliens. It's messed up. It really is. Oh, by the way, they're really into this teal color scheme that's on Hunter and the main droid, right?
Yes.
Like never used the color before. Let's use it on the.
Yeah. What do you guys think that is? Like, it's not like these are the only parts that are not, because this is like the days of the Empire, right? The dark times where everything is monotone, black and white, and very rustic and dark. But the Bad Batch seems to have this, like, their personalities don't match their armor, in my opinion. It's like, teals and pinks and oranges on their armor, and it's like it's a little off-putting. That's why I mentioned I don't know if I'm going to buy the set of Series 2 when it comes out. I'm not digging their armor. I wish it was a transitional armor. It's like
lack of skulls on it anymore. I don't know. It's kind of generic looking now to me.
It doesn't fit the tone of the times.
I think it's fitting the tone they're trying to go to, but I don't think they're there yet. They're trying for a bit of a lighter tone. And
I will say this, guys, like, we're 6 episodes in, we don't have an agenda. To me, I don't see an agenda. I don't see, this is like my biggest gripe on this show thus far. This episode is what it is. We had some other things going on, but I don't see a bigger picture. And I'm kind of like thinking, going like, okay, in season 1, I don't think we did either. You know what I mean? No. It was still new. I think we had
they're the A-team.
Well, yeah, they're the A-team. Yeah.
If you think about the other shows and why they have an advantage, and I was thinking about this, that we knew what they were leading up to. Mm-hmm. We don't know what. Ultimately, it leads up to A New Hope, but that's a long way away. But we knew what Clone Wars was leading up to in episode 3, right? We knew what Rebels was leading up to in A New Hope. We don't know what this is leading up to. So if you look at those shows and just watch them and take away what they were leading up to, it probably would feel a lot like this. Like, where is this going?
It did.
True.
Yeah. So I got to be fair on that. Maybe at the end, but it only. Bad Batch only made sense like last season. At the very end, we see where it was going somewhere. Yeah. Now, with this, I can see some shit going down. Why he's worth some stuff, like you said to this point. Why the buyer wants this guy alive, and I think it's the cloning stuff.
Yeah, well, I have a theory, and I'm not gonna say it now because I want to say it when we get more into this thing about the end game of season 2 of Bad Batch. Okay, but yeah, Gungi, we got him. So. At first, okay, this is my initial thought. I'm like, okay, cool. I think this would be a great addition to not just see that he survived Order 66, but like, be involved in the bigger story moving forward. And I was kind of, again, I don't know where this is going, if it's going to come full circle, but it's kind of like his closure for his story, right? Like, he survived. He went back to Kashyyyk and he got dropped off. Now he's with his people, not necessarily his tribe, because he obviously doesn't know because he was taken. He doesn't know anything else. And I was kind of like, I don't know, a little disappointed. Like, oh man, like he's not going to be involved in the Bad Batch or the Rebellion or something. He's a Jedi still, or
we think so far.
Yeah,
but remember how these shows always have a way of coming back and bringing back people they've met along the way.
There's also something said at the very end of this episode, which I don't know. It could be viewed as a bit of a nod to what's coming.
Are you talking about the path?
Yes.
Okay, there's a picture of it. We have it. I guess we can get to it now already, or wait till later. What's it matter? We're always over the hell.
Yeah, go for it. First
go ahead, Scott.
Smith, though. Gungi has the coolest hilt ever.
He really does. You know what? And before we get to the other part, that just matches up so well with Kashyyyk in general, right? And the Wookiee culture we've gotten into and stuff. It was so cool that his hilt is definitely top notch, and not knowing his heritage and not coming from here, but knowing that was his hilt that felt right when he built it. And that was only about a year before this. I was trying to figure out time frame. that was like 20 years before Battle of Yavin. We're at 19 right now, maybe 18 and a half. So it wasn't too long ago.
No, I like that they aged him just slightly.
Yeah.
You know, like he's a little
Made him a little
taller, and
taller.
the
Yeah.
tooth is a little bigger, maybe. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
I liked him, man. I dig
Yeah,
him.
he's a little longer in the tooth, literally.
He's longer in the tooth. I like his little Shih Tzu tooth.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that particular the particular slide. If you
Oh,
want to go
okay,
and
yeah.
talk
But
about it.
he's talking with what do we call her? Yana? Was that her name? The tribe elder?
Yeah.
And she talks about basically when the Wookiees come back. When a child leaves, the trees get sad. When they come back, they rise up and this and that. And
Yeah.
she said maybe the same way that he's come back, you'll find your path, type of thing, or people find.
Oh
their path.
yeah, gotcha. Yeah,
And there's number one. I think that's a nod to them crossing paths again. But I'm kind of stuck on the word path really hard lately.
Right.
Anytime I hear the word path, and I really want the show to lead into that.
We're waiting. That's the thing.
And why wouldn't this young kid that just had to run from the Empire for 6 months, 8 months, whatever they've been running for now, right? Why wouldn't he connect with people like that and find the path, or the path find him, and help out?
Yeah.
And that's how he connected to Quinlan again. Because I mean, there's
Here's
so
the
many
thing.
cool things, you know.
Yeah,
It's
and-
the
and
most
like-
natural. It's the most natural direction for the show to go into.
Yeah.
You know, somebody has to be behind the path. After you can't just drop something like the path in our laps like that and then walk away from it.
Right.
I know Obi-Wan wasn't written by, Filoni and all that, but everybody has, their hooks into the story group.
Right.
can't
Right.
just
And
drop
you can't, because you can't throw Quinlan Voss in it either, because that's definitely not a drop and leave it. You have
But
to have
also,
story.
it's such a cool concept. The path is such a cool concept with the Quinlan, like everything, and Obi-Wan identifying it and finding this out, that it's not a throwaway. Like to us, it's not a throwaway. It's something that needs to be built on. You know what I mean? And like that's why I'm like, okay, it's hard to do this week to week and just kind of get these little, if there's just a little bit here, and then it all comes to a head at the end. It's hard to sit through that until you have the bingeable series to do. That's why I'm always like, I might bitch about it, but I hold hope. I have like a love-hate relationship with the Bad Batch right now. I really just it's like I love what we're getting because it is actually a really good show. There's a lot of things going on. Like I said, what Scott was saying about the Wookiee lore. It's just some really cool things in there. And I also hate that nothing is so far. Again, 6 episodes in, we should have some direction on like, all right, guys, what are we working towards? And that hate relationship I have is like, is it going to be enough at the very end, like Mount Tannis, to one episode and just all the answers,
I'm really
questions
trying,
answered?
I'm trying to think of them putting pieces together right now to link up. They just got to get Wanda Sykes. We've set up the turn for Sid. And or Wanda Sykes, right? And whether Sid turns and Wanda Sykes takes her place, or that Fee is actually the really bad person or whatever. You got this kind of thing set up. You've got now a Jedi in here that somebody wants to pay for. You got Trandoshans that know Wookiees are on Kashyyyk, and Kashyyyk is now a big deal again, right? You've got a lot of stuff getting put into place.
There's the line. I finally found it. Sorry.
But a lot of things put into place that by the mid season, right, we should be able to put most of it together and then take off the second half. I'm trying to be positive here, man, because the reason I'm saying it is because we expect them to do so much so fast and they don't. Yeah. So I've got to calm my jets down, or I'm going to sit here and I'm going to rip on it every week.
Well, that's where I'm at, right? You just mentioned Gungi and the purpose why the droids have them and stuff. And somebody, I forgot who it was in the chat, but they mentioned the Inquisitors come to Kashyyyk. Maybe that's who they're son. I was questioning on, is it too early for the Inquisitors at this point? At this time point?
I would think so.
Because
I mean the Jedi Order just fell, and if they are fallen Jedi, it's going to take a minute to make sure that Vader's comfortable enough to.
I'm assuming it's just Empire. Like they're going to turn over to the Empire. At this point.
I'm back to the cloning stuff. I think again, besides Yoda's race, who else lives a long time would be a Wookiee. Now you got a Wookiee Jedi. If you can get some Wookiee Jedi blood, a baby Yoda blood, right? You get these guys when they're young, right? So
Let-
at this
yeah.
point, I would put Gungi in the same class as I would put Grogu as far as younglings, right?
Interesting.
So
You,
they're trying to collect youngling Jedi and with their blood.
Well, okay. So I want to. Okay, I want to. I think this is a good time for me to drop my conspiracy. What the season 2 is setting up, like overall.
Dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun. Come on.
it's not.
Quick, where's the sound?
Come on, Ernie. Where's our sound effect?
I don't have a. Well, I mean, we can.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, that's
Dun,
cool.
dun,
There we
dun.
go. Okay. On board
Oh.
for Moocher's rant.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
not necessarily a rant, but it's something that I really like. I took today really because I watched this at midnight, right? So I sleep on it, and then I do my little aggressive typing in the chat to everybody, like or whatever, and you know how I hate the show and all that stuff. But I really,
Oh, wait,
I
wait.
really, I really
Wait, do a
regroup.
Moocher's rant. Do the Moocher's rant again.
Okay. Hang on.
Oh, I didn't
I
play.
didn't
right.
play.
That's anticlimactic. Man, that sucked.
Such a loser.
I am gonna rock your world, baby. You get
I
ready for the
am.
night of your life.
Yeah.
Oh, that never happens to me. I'm so sorry.
Story
Now-
of my life.
Hey, okay, so bear with me on this, and
right.
and there's a scene in here, and I was trying to find the screenshot, but Scott, if you find the screenshot of Gungi and Omega touching the tree,
Yeah,
if we
Yeah,
have
no
that,
problem.
so
we do.
we were talking
Come on.
about again. I'm going through the motions and everything, and we were talking about Omega's purpose and her abilities and all that stuff, and going forward. And she sensed Gungi at the on the droid ship, that platform, right? She sensed something
No,
was
she
wrong
heard
there.
him.
She heard
No,
it.
she sensed it. She sat there on the ship, right?
No,
with,
dude, there
Kat.
was a laser
heard it.
blast the immediate second. I tried to get it paused, dude, just to see if it said laser blast.
Oh, you
when
did?
his-
Oh,
when
okay.
when his foot left visibility, the blaster fire went. I'm like, could they wait like 3 more seconds to like give
Oh.
her some space? I'm like,
Before
it
she
couldn't
runs
have-
off.
He didn't
No.
close the door, nothing. He wasn't even barely in the door, and she left. And I'm like, this
Yeah.
brat. I'm like,
Well, the thing is we're always trying to find Omega's purpose on this.
Yeah.
I know where you're going with this. Stop
Go for
it.
it.
I know that's what I'm saying. I think that I mean, look, guys,
Go
I'm
ahead,
trying
go
to
ahead.
think like bigger picture. I'm trying to think the whole thing, right?
Okay.
Why
Stop
we
it.
got Mount Tannis in the beginning of season 1, and why Omega even exists, and why she was special to the cloners. I honestly think that she's force sensitive.
No.
And I think that I think the Kaminoans wanted, knew that they had something special because for the first time, and we saw this in old EU stuff, was what happens if you try to clone a force sensitive,
yeah.
right? But I think they maybe found an ability for the midichlorians to grow in her. And, what's that?
You think they could manipulate the midichlorians? That's what it would
Clones,
have to be.
sure. I think they found a way in her. That's why she's so different. And a female in that whole role like that, she is a part of the Bad Batch. She's genetically engineered differently.
Shut your mouth, sir.
Guys,
I don't
but
think
really
so.
think about this. Like, we had Mount Tannis, we had the revelation of it, and we're always thinking like Grogu and the Mandalorian about what the Dr. Pershing wants it for. We're always assuming that it's for the Emperor and all that stuff. Why couldn't I think this is where it's going. I really think Omega is going to, as she's developing she's learning about the Force, and she's not being taught because she doesn't know what it is, but she has all these heightened senses, and we're assuming it's all because she's part of all the Bad Batches, like the best of them, whatever. I think this is where it's going. I think at the end of the season 2, we're gonna find out she's gonna move objects, and the cloners are gonna want her to clone more of her.
So, man.
I think that's exactly where it's going. I don't
So
think
pretty much
Gungi is
another
the
Rey.
key. No. I mean,
look,
what other purpose is
look,
Omega in here for then?
I didn't cut you off only because Skyrider said I agree with Moocher, and I gave it to Skyrider's vote to let you continue that thought. No, they're not going to do it. Shut the hell up. Get out. No, I don't want Omega to be force sensitive. No,
you don't want it.
No,
that's fine.
No,
but you don't
I
want
got
it. That's
enough.
fine.
We have enough now. Gungi's in there now. We're good.
No,
That's all we
he's
needed
not
was
in
one
there. That's
lightsaber.
my problem. This is my problem. He's not going to come back around. This is why I have a problem with these shows.
We met
They
him.
introduce these things, and it's not Omega is the key. Why have an Omega character in the first place if this is not the direction they're going to?
But that's also the thing.
Can't
that
argue
they
it.
do
Because you
in
don't
these-
want it doesn't mean it's not gonna. It's
It doesn't
not the
make any
direction.
sense. She's a.
It does make perfect sense. What are you talking about?
She's another clone of
I'm just gonna
Django. Django's not force sensitive
It
unless
doesn't.
unless she is on. Okay, the Force doesn't necessarily need to be cloned. What if somebody just became Force sensitive? Like they were a clone was Force sensitive.
That's what I'm saying too.
Like they didn't manipulate her. They didn't make her Force sensitive. They're just like, what the F is this one?
They kept her at the facility because she showed something different, and maybe, like I said, like, wait a second, she had midichlorians or whatever developed. I don't know what it was. I hate to use them.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it. No,
I know you don't like it.
No.
I didn't like it either.
No.
But the thing is, I just don't see another. I don't see any way around it.
Yeah, I'm with Miss Sunflower. Yeah, I'm out. You're yeah. All right, you and Skywriter are both out of this. We're done.
I told you. You guys, before we do the show, we do a little chat, and I said what I'm about to say in this podcast is going to trigger two people, and Chris and Joey were the two ones that I triggered. But
you did say that was it. Oh yeah,
that
you
was
got me hella triggered. Yeah, well done. Yeah.
And here's the thing, but see, I don't see any counter arguments to it. You guys are saying you don't want it because you don't like her,
it doesn't make
not
sense.
saying you don't like her. I'm just saying, like, it does make sense. It makes perfect sense. It does, actually.
Scott's being polite.
Go ahead, Scott. Yeah.
Only because I couldn't get a goddamn word in edgewise.
Well, you have to wait till we're done, so go ahead.
You know what? Now you guys took so long, let me get back at it. Let me just tell you, it doesn't make any damn sense. They're not cloning.
So anyway, I don't know. Have they established that they can actually manipulate and they've never established that they can manipulate and turn somebody who is not Force sensitive into a Force sensitive. You're talking about complete genetic manipulation. I mean, I guess in some ways there's a possibility because the clones were genetically enhanced in order to speed up their growth. She was particularly changed over. She's one of the, I don't know, what is she? She's like the G1 with Alpha and Omega. Right. They definitely manipulated her to make her female. Right. Do you think though
but
that
she's
they
part
would
of the
have
Bad
the
Batch?
What's that?
She's a member of the Bad Batch. Like, she is part of that
DNA. But
meaning every member of the Bad Batch has a specific ability,
and hers seems to be the ability to pick up on other people's abilities and use them rapidly. Never have they explained that that's a thing from the essence of the Force or anything like that. Do you think that they could manipulate midichlorians and add midichlorians into somebody's DNA?
That's where I'm thinking that's going.
I don't think so. I think her manipulation is the ability to pick up other people's abilities, the ability to sit there, look at what.
Wouldn't that be a Force ability, though? I mean,
not necessarily.
High Republic, we had each Jedi doing different specific things.
No,
well, you know what I'm going with, though.
I don't think it would work because the Emperor is having problems right now in the future part, right? Cloning himself. So if they were able to clone, now the only way, again, like I was saying a minute ago, she could be that random Force chose her type of thing, but then you'd have two of them in the same time frame, and that makes sense.
Snoke bodies. Yeah. Season 1, you had the Snoke bodies and the tubes that were in Lama Su or Nala Te. One of them said that you were born here. Yeah. They had those there in the Mount Tannis. Omega was born in that facility where those Snoke bodies were there.
She was born on Kamino.
Yeah,
that's the Kamino. That's what the Snoke bodies were in Kamino. That's where they were in that facility. They weren't on.
I think Joey just lost his power.
Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, Joey's. I'm sorry, Joey. But yeah, no, the Snoke bodies were on Kamino in that facility. That one part where it says you guys were the Bad Batch was born here, and so like, look, guys, I'm not trying to force quote unquote the idea of.
Oh man, I lost my power too. Puns. Oh geez, I'm out. I got things to do.
But I mean, look, the signs are starting to point in that direction. I'm not saying that it will go that direction.
No,
her touching the tree kind of put that's in my mind too. Like, I know she was copying Gungi and she was just being polite or whatever. But I also think that she's starting to the Force's awakening in this clone. Okay,
man, you're
being it DNA manipulation or not. It's there though. Like, I don't understand. You guys have no counterpoint to it.
Well,
just because you keep saying it's so.
Because you're not giving me a counter.
Jesus Christ. Whenever you started the conversation about this, though, you said she sensed Gungi. She didn't. You heard the Wookiee roar and you heard the Gungi.
Okay, take that out was
blast.
wrong. Take that
All
out
right.
of the equation.
And then that was
So-
the one sense thing she had.
We have not seen anything else that is specifically Force related.
No, we haven't seen
mean-
it yet. That's what I'm saying. We haven't seen it, but it's starting
You know,
to
I'm pretty
happen.
sure Wrecker's force sensitive too. We just haven't seen it yet.
First of all, Omega has never lifted anything heavy
No.
ever. So she doesn't have Wrecker's ability, obviously. You know.
But
so-
she's dumb as shit sometimes.
So
and just
take
goes
that.
and does
So
whatever
take
she
that
wants.
theory and throw it away. That she's part of all of them. So because she's not part of all of them. So
Oh, she isn't
take
grown
that,
up
throw it
yet.
away. So there's so my point's moot, but yours
it's not
isn't.
that. It's
Yeah.
that she's picking up on their skills, like Hunter's ability to track,
But that could be a force ability too. What I was saying
Tech's
is the High
ability to
Republic.
memorize.
Oh, come on. You're studying.
All right.
She could study. Okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying. She
Yeah.
is learning. She's learning. She's
Right.
from studying what they do, not necessarily force related. I'm
So-
not saying that it's not possible that it could happen. I'm just saying I don't see it that way.
That's what I'm saying
don't
is
see it
that
that
I
way.
don't want it that way, but I see it going in that direction. So far, 6 episodes in, what we got in season 1, Mount Tannis, all those things, the snow clone bodies in the jars, going from like I just see that's where they're going with this. Yeah, so my anger knocked the power back on the block. Look, guys, it's a theory, you know. We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see, but you know, if I'm right at the end of the season and all of a sudden the Empire or the cloners are after Omega because they need to clone her,
I'll buy you a 6-pack, man. You point out the 6-pack. I'll buy you
got
a
it.
6-pack if that's what happens, man.
You got it. You got
And
it. Like I
if
said,
if not, you owe us what?
I'll allow you guys to
I'll take a
stay
30
on the
bucks.
podcast. How about that?
Wow.
It'll be me and Skyrider. That's it.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding, guys. I mean, but you know, like I just, and this is why I was upset with I was you know what, Pitt and stuff. I was actually upset with this episode at first. You know, besides all the cool stuff that happened, you know, there were some cool things in there and like Gungi
Besides
and all
the
that stuff,
coolness of the episode and the fact that it had a
wasn't
great
that
pace
cool,
and
but,
better
I mean,
story, it was pretty cool.
yeah.
Look at that.
We were
Oh, it
on
was visually
Kashyyyk.
beautiful. So was the last one. So was the first 5. You know, I mean, like
We were
No.
seeing
they're not
burned
ugly.
down-
They're not ugly.
Kashyyyk is different. Kashyyyk was awesome.
No,
Because
it's
Kashyyyk's
cool.
an important planet to me. You know, that's
Oh, of
neat.
course.
And then the Trandoshans. Here we go. That's a good start right there. The Trandoshans going after the Wookiees and working for the Empire. I mean, that's
Yeah.
dirty. That's dirty.
straight
It is
up
dirty.
EU stuff right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hadn't really talked about Trandoshans versus Wookiee. I mean, we got a little bit of it with Chrysanthemum versus the Trandoshans on Tatooine, but
I'm just putting it there. And hey, keep going. Keep going.
Skyrider, Yoda voice.
Oh, man.
Open your mind and learn what you have learned.
can
To
we-
Moocher you listen?
Can we block people from the chat too?
I
Oh,
can,
yeah.
but that's why I'm in charge.
That's mean. I don't want to do that. I'm in charge
man,
too.
You can't agree with Mooch.
For now, Scott, until you block Skyrider, do not do it.
Wow. I would never block anybody unless they're offering us special massages or something. Woohoo! I'll block them, but
But you take a note of the name so you can call it.
Oh, look at that. I'm sorry. This is great. Geez, now Mooch is this is fun.
Yeah,
It's too much fun.
Yeah. Christmas chill this week. Mooch got
Yeah,
pretty mad
yeah.
at Omega.
I mean,
oh, that's funny.
all the counter argument was no, but that's fine. I mean,
Look,
we'll continue this
well,
conversation later.
technically,
The
I mean, your
sunflower-
argument is yes. So
Right.
your
Is
argument
not. I'm
is
giving
yes.
you
No,
Your
you have
argument is
nothing
no.
better. That's right, because your main argument,
gave you
argument was
examples.
moot. No, it was wrong. It's the only.
It's
you're
not wrong.
Your example was
Shut
wrong.
up.
She didn't sense shit.
Okay,
was-
take that away from, but
Then there's
all
no
the
force
events-
sensitivity anywhere.
Don't be so simple-minded with this. Listen, it goes from season 1. We're going to move on in a second because for the sake of time and just sake for friendship, we're going to move on in a second. But the events in season 1, why Omega even exists, why she was special to the Kaminoans. You guys you're just negate all that. That's throw that away. Let's say she's touching the tree. That was nothing either. That was
just really
a
nice
throwaway.
because
Just
they had
really nice. Okay.
You just saw what happened on Kashyyyk, how the stones were
Yeah.
important. Bitch, by the way. Bitch, let me tell you. Which I think weren't just tombstones. I think there were dead Wookiees in there. I was like really thinking morbidly, like, I'm like, oh man, I think they just burn a whole bunch of Wookiees. That's messed up.
Yeah, the rocks, right? Yeah.
I think that's a cemetery, and I have it in my head. My head canon has those as Wookiees.
Yeah. Well, Don's always we'll have words, Don. See if I cook you a tri-tip again. But anyway, let's see. I bribe my friends.
Next thing he types is never mind. Mooch is right. Chris is wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Mooch didn't give me the tip.
I just did. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, but anyway, thank you, Gordon. Thank you. This is way more entertaining than the Bad Batch episode. Absolutely. No, this is exactly. Hey, this is fun. You know, I'm just like, again, I kind of put the caveat in front of, like, I'm trying to find the angle.
You know, it's fun when we theory craft and it makes sense. It's not fun when it's just gibberish bullshit.
I can cut you off right there because that's what you gave me. But that's fine. Yeah. I'm trying to find the angle of the Bad Batch series. I'm trying to find
it. It does make sense because right now we don't have an angle. My angle is I'm thinking we're headed towards.
Yeah. Sure.
I think we're headed towards the path. I think that is the angle. I don't necessarily. I don't see. I just don't see it yet.
Yeah.
If you're saying you see it, that's great. But
I'm not saying
I see it yet.
There's Scott with his open-mindedness again today. Stop it! What the hell? You know what? You can think whatever you
earlier.
You can.
Starlight Digest bingo.
I'm gonna think whatever you want, Mooch. Go ahead. I'm like,
no.
Argue.
No. What?
You can't think that, Mooch.
Scott's 100% right, though.
No, he's not. You're not.
No, he is because I'm looking at, like, how many times did we mention the path during the Andor series?
That's it.
And it didn't come to fruition. How many times did we say, hey, Kenobi has to revisit the path? Didn't come to fruition. So I'm like, why Bad Batch? Why we can explain it. We can write it in. I don't think that's where they're going.
Andor would have been more of a mention. It would have been cool to have it, right? It would have made some sense in there. But knowing that it was just really going to Rogue One, different directors, we really shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Shouldn't have. Yeah. However, I think the path was there for a reason. I think Quinlan Voss was in there for a reason, and I think that's this whole show is leading to that. It makes sense.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I mean,
and I know path is a common word, but this is they've used it very specifically, like four times probably in this show. Yeah. Then I started thinking, okay, they said it a lot in the original trilogy and the prequels. Path, right?
Well, Jedi and path are hand in hand. You know what I mean?
But they've used it a lot in Bad Batch, and that just feels like they've been pushing towards, because every time they say the word they've used it like they use inspirational speeches in Andor. You know, they're overdoing it.
Sure.
I keep hearing it, you know. So I'm hoping they're leading to that.
See, I'm glad Joey's electricity went out, because I would have put this comment on there. Rick Jones, Omega will become the wielder of the Darksaber and lead Mandalore as a Jedi. I see it going that way. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, it's still fun.
Get out.
She's just as much of a Mandalorian as Boba Fett is, so, you know.
Ow.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Whoa.
She's a direct clone of Jango Fett. She just doesn't have the helmet.
Or the upbringing. Or the love and affection.
Yeah.
That hey, nurture plays a part.
She never knew Jango, but Boba did.
She doesn't even. She has somebody else's accent. I don't know where the hell she got that.
It's funny. I was watching something set in New Zealand the other day, and I'm like, holy shit, everybody's Omega.
Yeah, it's fun. But we'll have to see where this goes. You know, I hope it goes somewhere. Let's put it that way. I'm hoping, even if it's a different direction completely, or comes and revisits the path, because again, I think it's that the path is a plot that's too important to drop.
Ernie, where do you think it's going, Ernie?
I don't know. You guys were all over the place. I don't even.
I'm sorry. I mean, get animated.
It was I like the idea of the path. Like, the path has to come up and everything. It has to tie in somehow, though. I know this is a kids show, really kids based. Trying, you know, Resistance didn't work that well. Let's try this one. But I do feel at this point something does have to be tied in. I don't know. I keep feeling the whole thing that she is force sensitive too. but I don't want that to happen, because then if she is, then you really got into when on Camino did they start like
Cloning Jedi.
injecting them with midi-chlorians or something.
Yeah.
I mean, like, then I need to see that then,
If you want to
because
go,
all of a
but
sudden, you know,
okay. Well, here's the thing too. I mean, Rey's father was a clone of the Emperor. Why? He was cloning himself
He was
because
trying.
yeah. I mean, there's
Mhm.
so there's connections there. I don't think it's clear yet, but it's a disturbing connection. Hey, look at this. We got a super chat from Bootleg Joe, $5. Bounty for the blocking of Rick Jones. Oh no.
Dunzo. We'd have done it for 3.
Wow.
No.
We're not
But yeah.
blocking you, Rick Jones.
So I mean, it has to go
okay.
somewhere. But this episode was exciting. The last episode was fun, Indiana Jones. This one, like,
Right.
actually made me choke up a little bit on some of the parts.
Sure.
To
It's
see
great.
him roar and be scared at them.
At the
that
clones.
was a moment.
Yeah, that was cool, huh?
And them knowing
Bad
it,
Batch,
like
yeah.
that was
You're
like a
right.
whoa, you know, of
That was
him.
cool. Yeah.
He's been running and hiding all this time, and how am I supposed to trust you guys? Like, he didn't know what to do. That was the great part of this episode, was he really didn't know. It wasn't not the Omega was telling him or anything like that. It was the, what do I do? I just got taken by droids. Now I got clones here. Like, okay, this is it. I've been running all this time. What's going to happen? And then he gets to go to Kashyyyk, and that was being burnt down. His family still ain't there, but they're going to take him in. Like, there was a lot of really good
story
opening points to this, of making you really feel
That's why the dark times are such a pivotal point in Star Wars of the depressed. Like, put yourself in that situation. And we mentioned Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order. Cal Kestis' storyline, it puts you in that position where you're on the run, and it's from the entire galaxy. There's like no safe haven because you are who you are, and that's a real scary situation to put yourself in. And Gungi backed in the corner, lashing out at the, like, oh, I got nowhere else to go, I'm being kidnapped, and you guys are. It's just like you really kind of. That's why I love Star Wars, because it's dangerous.
It's really hard for Gungi to. I saw this on the Star Wars website, how they updated his piece, that he went from being one of the rare Wookiee Jedi to being one of the only Jedi.
Right.
Right. Wow. And that's pretty, and he's on the run, so he really doesn't know what to do. Right. So that was a really great point. We talk a lot in this show. We do it a lot. We talk about items and quick scenes that happen in the show, and we talk about what can happen.
Yeah.
But really, in this story, there was more to talk about, and it was Gungi and his feelings, and it was really good, really deep.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
That's why I want him to come. I want it to come full circle. I want it to.
But I was going to bring that up.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ernie.
I said, and that's where I feel it can go with the path, because through all of that, seeing his hurt and what they were doing, it wasn't Omega basically telling them we have to do this. They were also agreeing. And then like when they stayed for the dinner and like that, I mean, basically they're a family, and here they see this family, this tribe is split up and just come together as we have to help each other, that they immediately jumped in and helped each other. And I think this, like Chris was saying, they said path over and over again. I think this could be the beginning of seeing it, of like, hey, what are we really going to do?
Yeah.
Right. And we saw that in the episodes where they were, I think it was the Ruins of War. It was the Ruins of War episode where they were trying to get the money. The reason why they were trying to get the money was to not only pay Sid, but, you know, Echo was saying we could do some real good out there with this money. And, you know, because they know they need funding in order to do that. And now you've got, and another thing I wanted to bring up is, this is a Filoni joint, you know, and he was Clone Wars, he was Rebels. He is not one to bring in a character out of nowhere and then not bring that character back. If it's not in the Bad Batch this season, it could be the Bad Batch next season. It could be, and I'm looking at, you know, Rex and what were the other two clones that he was with on that deserted planet on Rebels? Those clones were from. Essentially, I'm sorry, Chris, because I know you like some of these episodes, but one of those clones was from just freaking throwaway episodes of the Clone Wars, the droid episodes. I hated those episodes, but he was the
like
the Rebel
Rookies?
Commando.
Gregor?
What?
Was it Gregor?
Oh, Gregor.
Gregor.
Oh,
Gregor,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I love those
He
episodes.
was from a complete throwaway episode where he was the only good part of that episode. And then, okay, cool, we're moving on. We have a few other seasons, and then all of a sudden he's back in Rebels, and he has a pivotal part to play.
Yeah.
So, and even in Rebels, the cast of minor characters they found along the way, like Wedge, and you found the admiral that was in charge of the fleet. They found his son or his brother or somebody that came back to actually help pilot the fleet against,
Sure.
just people in little bit parts. They all came back and coalesced at the end for the big grand finale. So I don't think this is the last time we'll see Gungi.
Yeah.
I do think this is leading to something that requires financing. It's saving Jedi. And this was another instance in which they're looking at what they took part in, what they saw happen with like Kanan in the first episode of The Bad Batch. They saw this happen. Why would they not want to create something that would be able to rescue the people that they loved, essentially?
And then the two best episodes in this show are season 1, episode 1, and this one. Do you know why? Lightsabers. That's it. 100%. I just want to. Thank God you guys both said it at the same time. That's exactly it. Lightsaber. So just want to know that. Sorry, Ernie.
So here's my last thing about it too. Is I think that we're gonna find out about Sid. Is that she knew about what these Trandoshans are doing and what they've been doing, and some of maybe what they and I think what some of they've been stealing or whatever might be funding these. Might be funding what they're doing, and that's going to give them a cause to leave and do this.
Sure.
Omega may be a little whiny brat, but she's right. We have to help these people because these people are no different than us. And all this time we've been stealing and doing jobs to survive. That is funding this on the backside. Because it's the big thing, right? Of what is she doing? Why is she so secret? What's going on? And it may be that Sid doesn't have a choice. She may be forced to be doing this because she just is Trandoshan, but we don't know that. So I think that could be the big one and sell the family to get this in.
Yeah, and also, I mean, the Bad Batch had an offer from Rex. Rex offered them a cause. Join a cause, join a rightful cause. There's people in this fight. You can join us, and they haven't done it yet. And some people in the chat are picking up on it too. It's like they're slowly, finding out that the world is not. They can't be independent in this world. They have to have a cause. And I think Omega's their moral compass on this whole thing. Like Ernie said, like her or not, she's the moral compass. She's the one at the voice of reason. To give them a sense of we have the ability to help people. We should help people. It's frustrating for us because she's always just running off and putting them in danger versus hey, you're not going to have the Bad Batch if you get them killed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
you can't get patted up. You can't keep getting patted on the back to saving the day after you put them in danger.
Every
that's
time.
the part, right? So
if
she was doing what she was doing and everybody else was causing issue, fine.
Yeah.
But she's causing the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah. So,
but my God, hold on, real quick, Ernie. That it blew my mind because I've never thought of it. And then this episode right here is now so important, and it makes you realize, like you just said, Filoni doesn't do a lot of stuff not for a reason. There's a reason Sid's a Trandoshan. She could have been absolutely anything else in the thousands of silly creatures they have in Star Wars.
Correct.
And they made her a Trandoshan, and they specifically had a Kashyyyk episode and specifically showed Trandoshans jacking that planet up and knowing now there's a Jedi there. This is big time. She's going to put, that's what's going to happen is split these guys up. They know there's a Jedi on Kashyyyk. She's going to put a job out on Kashyyyk. They didn't know she doesn't know they were already on Kashyyyk, right? Sid had no part of that.
No, they left.
This is all going to come out of. This is awesome. Ernie, that killed it. I love it.
What's going on, Yoko? Ernie's theory stirred me out of alerdom.
Hi, Yoko.
He sent the ripple out in the forest, and everybody felt it. That's what happened.
Yeah,
I think we'll start seeing more about what's going on. Truly, that next week we've got 2 episodes dropping.
We do. We have a double, huh?
The Clone Conspiracy is episode 7, and Truth and Consequences is episode 8.
I have so Clone Conspiracy. Oh, go ahead. Are you? I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to talk over you, but I was going to about the clone conspiracy. I see also. I do see a clone revolt coming. Going back, harking back to the Crosshair episode. And I think Crosshair. I don't think he's going to join the rebel cause, or I don't think he's going to join the Bad Batch, whatever. But I think he is going to join his clone brothers revolting against what they've been doing. You know what I mean? And I think that's where we're going to have the Crosshair episode come to a head. Plus, all the clones being white, like the Empire saying, okay, this proves it. No more clones whatsoever. We're getting rid of them altogether. Conscripts from now on. I mean, for even the ones that are enlisted, they're our enemy now. And I think that's where you're going to have this bigger problem within the Empire, or not necessarily a problem, but like, their full takeover. The Empire's full takeover and get rid of all the clones. So
should still be hundreds of thousands of clones out there. So I mean, to just cut them off, I mean, you've got a lot. Unless you take them out, that's a lot.
I think that's what's going to happen. You try to take them out.
I think so, because all of them have that. And like we said, Order 66 was a command there. We don't know what the other ones are. That just changed it. And I mean,
we
have
just
all
the
of these
presence
people
of that.
messing up with their chips and everything like that of going against it. We don't know what it is. And we see how they're being treated now, which is really, really unjust and unfair. Here where they were this grand army, and now they're, all the same color, being called by their numbers, nothing like that.
It's just going to be freaking scanners, man. People's heads are going to be exploding. Those chips are just going to make people's heads blow up.
I think that would have happened already. I thought that too. I think that would have already happened. He'd already flipped it. But although he needed to build the army of conscripts first.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is
and
that.
Get them trained properly by clones, and
we're seeing.
But he could have just taken the droids in that instance. It's so many things there could have been if you could argue both ways.
Perfect. Again, this episode did a good job at that, right? Using the droid army tanks and calling them the Empire's tanks.
Oh yeah,
they're
right.
repurposed droid tanks. What were they called?
And the
AATs or whatever. But
the clones, the clones taking orders from the Trandoshans. Just about. I mean, that Trandoshan leader was throwing out some orders there.
Yeah. And again, thank you for no stunning today. I know we mentioned on the bingo card, but
again,
thank you for not stunning anymore.
It's because they're racist. Next week when they hit humanoids, it'll be stunned. Watch,
but I mean, there was clones in that. There were clones in that Trandoshan mix that were getting killed too.
Are you sure they didn't get?
Think so.
I didn't see.
There were clones there.
No,
there were clones there. No, there was clones.
I remember seeing a clone fly back.
100%.
Yeah, and I thought the same thing. I was like, oh wow.
I don't know if we have a screenshot of it, but I know.
Were you guys hoping at least for maybe a Bosk or?
I've been hoping for a Bosk since his episode in Clone Wars.
Dude. Yeah. Like especially when they were showing the hologram. Like I didn't know. I mean,
right,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some type of something, and then two, I wanted to hear a mention of Chewie. I know it's so because why we're on Kashyyyk, but something. I mean, because they said we were here; these were our friends. Well, that's where Yoda was.
Well,
and Yoda got saved.
Chewie would be captured at this point, maybe. I guess. I don't
Not
know.
necessarily. There's Wookiees that are free right now, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, Tarful's still there as far as Fallen Order goes.
Right.
So there's no reason Chewie couldn't still be on Kashyyyk. That could have totally worked
during the fall.
We don't know that
the Republic,
we don't know that
Chewie was on Kashyyyk.
Yeah, we don't know that Chewie was taken captive. How long before Solo? But Solo was
right.
That's where I'm getting at. Exactly. Yeah. So for far as we left it, Chewie was on Kashyyyk, but we saw what Kashyyyk turned into. And they obviously had that one Wookiee survivor. They were transporting him over. So, but to bring in this whole thing, like Chewie could be captured at this point or on the run, Yeah.
Well, because he seemed pretty high up in the army or in their military, right? He was with Tarful, with Yoda, up in the command center. Right. We never really get a story on that either, which would be kind of cool. Just any kind of story on. Give me a Wookiee video game where I'm Chewie in that.
Oh my God, frame, please!
Right?
That'd be cool.
The story background that you have to play through. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. But so there'd be no reason there. He could totally be there, still running rebellion on Kashyyyk or fighting. The. Wookiees call it guerrilla warfare on the ground? I don't know, but
I would like to think that Kashyyyk is a battleground, battle planet right now, being like the Empire eventually takes it over, eventually enslaves all the Wookiees, but right now it's so close to the fall of the Republic and where we left off that it would be still a battle. Where we were was 1 point on the entire planet, whatever we're where
Yeah.
I saw some about that the chieftain Wookiees that we were seeing. There was a signet on the chest that matched Tarful's signet on his shoulder.
Oh,
Something
okay.
like that. So there might be a tie-in of that's the same tribe or not.
Oh, cool.
There might be an insinuation there that all of Kashyyyk had fallen at that point. Like you were saying, maybe it was like he's with the Wookiees that survive, and it's the resistance army of the Wookiees at this point too. I would like to see that transition.
It is definitely a battleground because again, going back to Fallen Order, you're on Kashyyyk, right?
Yeah.
There's literally rebels and Empire.
I was wondering if we could actually see his chest plate from that position. But no.
You know, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to drop into something else real quick, that there was one other little tidbit of Star Wars that came out today, which was pretty cool.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, first off, before we jump, the Trandoshans, I think they do a really neat job with Trandoshans. It drives me nuts sometimes, but then at other times I'm like, why is the race of Trandoshan so varied? Right?
Oh, right.
You get Bosk, who's your traditional to me now because we've seen him forever. Boss Trandoshan. Then you have all these Mando Trandoshans that look all weird and
small and
slee stacks,
right? And then you have these guys that have between Sid and the commander and the dude in the tank. And then if you remember back to like Clone Wars when they were in those, they look like little turtle guys sometimes, right? That there's so many different Trandoshans. I think it's wild that they're so varied in that race, but you can walk around and see the same hammerhead 18 times.
The same hammerhead.
Yeah. But it's
you're right
really
on that. You're absolutely right on that point, because at first I appreciated that diversity in that race of things, because we saw it in the Weequays or the Klatooinians on Mandalorian. You know, they're all kind of the same but different. You know, but why is there one hammerhead? Like,
give me some movement around here.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so the other thing that came out today, Star Wars related, was this beauty here. And
there
I
we
think
go.
that is far superior to the Jesus laying back, cradling cradling little baby. Yeah,
he's in the same pose. You just tilt it.
Basically.
For some reason, though, there's some weight to this one, and it actually works.
Well,
No, it's awesome. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
so
funny.
I like the fact that we get the N1 Starfighter. We got Grogu.
Now this is a poster I would put up.
Yeah, it looks like is he on Mandalore? Is that like broken shards of stuff behind him?
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
And then so you have the moon of
Concord Dawn.
Concord Dawn up there. Look at that. I mean, there's some cool. I can't wait for this season, dude. We're a month away. I can't wait to. I know, right? That. I want to get to that and forget Bad Batch like I did this morning.
yeah. I mean, Mandalorian is something that's just, like I said, very exciting to look forward to. I'm so glad it's almost here.
That's a great pick. I can't wait to see them transform Grogu's little spot into R5s. I mean, this is going to be a really cool, really cool season. I'm pumped.
Yeah, agreed. So just wanted to share that with everybody. So
nice.
If you're a listener, just look up the final Mandalorian poster.
Yeah, that's something like I said, I would hang that up. You know what I mean? That other one, I would be embarrassed about it.
That one has tattoo written on it. Like there's cool stuff in there. Like you have between the planet, the moons, and everything.
Oh, the planets! Oh my god!
Oh
yeah.
All right, guys. So I mean, that was an animated podcast that we did. That was awesome. I have proof that it was. You're just saying no, so I don't know.
You're just saying yes.
I'm saying yes with weight. That's that's your problem.
And I'm saying that maybe yes and maybe no.
I weigh more.
You know?
I don't know, Chris. I mean, you might be taller, but I might weigh more than you.
Unbelievable.
This is awesome. I love it. I wouldn't change this for the world. I really would. I love Star Wars.
I don't remember what you were wrong about. I just know you were wrong. I just forget what it was.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll just leave it at that.
Were we talking about pod race again?
Up and final episode.
Yeah, no, pod race. Yeah,
just gonna go. I told you.
Well, see, the pod race is a yes or no kind of thing. I like it. You don't like it. And that's
the force sensitive bullshit. That's what it was. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. No, you're still wrong. That's dumb.
I didn't say I liked it. I just said that's the direction.
If that's the one thing you get right, like that's your big one. Like nailed it. got Omega Force sensitive. I'm like, oh, F off. That's like the worst one. I'll quit.
I just,
I'm gonna go do a My Little Pony show if she's force
Pony
sensitive.
show? Wow.
Yeah.
is that even a thing anymore?
I'm gonna be the biggest brony out there. I'm gonna be all over it.
Okay, so challenge is on. I think let me find Gordon's comment here. If Mooch is wrong, he has to dress up like Omega for the whole podcast and speak with her accent. If Chris is and if I'm right, Chris has to do a brony show and be a brony from now on.
I gotta do a 1-minute toy review on a My Little Pony.
Oh God.
I'm trying, Miss Sunflower. I'm trying not to. I'm not. I don't. I.
Right.
That's something that I don't want. I mean, I'm not.
Talking it into existence.
Yeah.
Shut up.
But,
dude. I mean, let's talk other things into existence.
But now it's out there, right? So we have different theories that's out there, and one of either we're all wrong or somebody's right.
We
So.
usually have so many good theories, and you pull out crap like that, and it worries us. And it's not even.
It worries us. I mean, it worries me too
I
that
don't-
that even came into.
I like Ernie does a theory, and we were like, "Yeah, that's gonna be cool." And then you have a theory, and it's like, "Oh man, this is
How many?
this show sucks. That's dumb."
Oh well,
Oh no! We suck again!
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's enough for tonight. What do you guys think? Have anything final thoughts?
Actually,
besides Chris?
the shiny Vespa, the shiny Vespa comment here reminded me. There was also 2 other really cool things on Kashyyyk I wanted to mention. The creatures were rad. I love the spider things that came down, and God, you mentioned that they'll only hurt you if you hurt them. Kind of like we saw in Rebels, right? So that was really cool. And then they came when called to kill the bad guys because they were showing danger, right? Which way, side note, way to go, clones, for taking care of forest fires. Right?
Yeah,
they made
right.
it really clear we're going to not leave this. So that was really cool.
Yeah, but also, don't we fight these creatures in Fallen Order? I think we do.
Maybe.
I think that's what somebody said.
I meant to look up the not Venomore, that's the leader, but the animal's name, the K. It starts with a K. I forget what it is. Go back to the other shot. It might have been on that one.
Creepy spider. Okay.
Oh, but this shot was really cool too. This Trandoshan asshole, right, burning the place up. I thought that was a neat one, but
I thought he was going to burn himself into the hole and then get trapped in the fire.
right, like he mopped himself into a corner.
Yeah.
Right.
But the other thing was they were riding some cool rat cat type things.
Yeah, those are cool.
And I didn't get a good shot of it, but one of them was cuddled like Battle Cat. If you
Yes,
know.
I saw that.
yeah, they're green,
Green with
and,
the yellow stripes and the red
yeah.
and the red.
Yeah, it jumped across the screen. And I'm all, oh shit!
The way
that
it
one-
jumped.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I
that
dug
cat
them.
jump. Yeah.
Yeah, because you couldn't really tell on most of views until that one jump, and you're like, "Oh man, they painted that thing like Battle Cat. How cool!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
dug
on
them. I
the
thought they were
right.
really cool. Yeah.
My favorite
Yeah.
part was Wrecker doing the Wookiee roars with them on
Uh-huh.
everything
Yes.
that he was doing.
Yes. You know what? There was a scene with the Wookiee they had saved up on a tree or something, and it went by, and I caught it in the corner of my eye because I wasn't looking at the screen. I'm like, damn, that was a big Wookiee next to him, and I went back to see what it was. It was Wrecker. I'm like, damn, Wrecker, they made Wrecker huge.
Yeah. Joey's stirring the pot here. I don't like this, Joey. If Mooch is wrong, he has to shave his beard.
I'm in.
Yeah, and then Miss Sunflower says I'll turn into become fetus moocher if he shaves his. You're right. Yeah, it's just not cool. It's just not a good look. It's not a good look
I've
that I'm
never
willing
seen
to
it.
support.
Yeah, he looks 25. Nobody
Yeah,
knows who's
yeah.
here.
I'll start
He
getting.
doesn't put
carded
his
again.
name up. We're like, who's the guest? I didn't know we were having a guest tonight. Yeah.
Where did his chin go? All right, guys.
I swear.
So, all right, cool. All right, well, let's wrap it up. But I do want to mention next week is on February 7th. It's Star Wars Podcast Day to celebrate the first Star Wars podcast ever. What is like 20 years ago or something like that? It was like
1990, yeah, something.
99.
I don't
I think
know.
99. So yeah, it was
24.
It was
24
20
years ago.
24 years ago, the very first recorded Star Wars podcast. And to celebrate that, we have joined in with most all the Star Wars podcasts just to put content out there and just to kind of celebrate that day of getting together and talking Star Wars. So look for that. I don't know what we're going to be talking about. Star Wars, maybe. So, but it's
Wouldn't
we'll
that
have like
suck to do Star Wars podcast day, and then we're just going to talk My Little Pony all the time.
well,
That's-
we
yeah,
almost.
why
I mean, we did.
We're not
with
gonna have
G.I.
to do
Joe.
that,
We
though.
did. Yeah, exactly. So.
Because I'm gonna write.
I don't know.
Right.
No, we won't have to.
We'll see.
I'm not gonna have to. You're.
But anyway, look
you're
for-
shaving your beard.
No. So look for
We
more
all agree.
content next week.
We voted.
On that. Yeah. So before Chris gets himself into any more trouble, I'm gonna kick it off to Ernie to kick us out of here. Thank you so much,
anything?
everybody.
Thank you to the pit for joining in tonight and being so very vocal, along with
patient.
these three guys.
And
on their-
patient.
yeah,
I don't
theory
know.
crafting over here
don't
as
need
we
no
jumped
patience.
in line.
You
Tried to
theory
bring it
crafted. Marco brought up bullshit. It's just some dumb random stuff he thought about while taking a crap before the show. He's, I'm gonna spin Chris off for a little while and talk about Omega being a Jedi. Go ahead.
I didn't.
We'll
I
have to see.
didn't say
We'll have to
that.
see.
But
no, thank you guys, everybody, for being so vocal. We greatly appreciate it, and we love that. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up on your way out. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and hit all so you don't miss when we're on, because we have tons of content. Like we said, we have all that extra going up there. Become a Patreon member. That really helps us out. We would greatly appreciate the support, please. And also check us out on all social media, from TikTok with 1 minute reviews, Twitter, going around adding, not trolling, because you haven't trolled in a long time at all. That's
troll
really good
tonight.
news.
What are you
I'm
talking about?
I'm a much happier
on
person.
Twitter.
I'm a
Oh,
much happier
Twitter.
person, if you notice.
Right,
I'm not
yes.
cranky anymore. I smile a lot more.
Yeah.
I argue with Marco sometimes and tell him to shut up because he has dumb ideas. But besides
But
that,
that's
I'm
about
pretty calm.
Yeah,
All there.
that's good. So check that out on Twitter, Instagram, and for 24/7 Star Wars talk, join our Facebook page, the Starlight Digest Central, for all
I
your
don't like
Star
you.
Wars info and news and everything. And check that out. And go back and watch all of our other stuff and all of our other content here while you wait for us to come back next Wednesday at 8 p.m. And tonight's episode was sponsored by Tashi Station Emporium.
At least I
For
have that.
all of your figure stand needs. So all of those Black Series that are going to be coming down the pipeline, you need your stands for that. We do have a reveal coming up soon for a very great looking background that's going to happen.
Yes.
We got the NECA turtle stuff right there that Scott's showing off right now. That is a brand new one in the shop. Go pick that up and get that. Those stands are awesome for all different types of turtles. So they will work with everything out there. We
Trust me, I've
talked
been on a
about
turtle
Battle
buying
Cat.
frenzy.
Yes, get it for all your
you
Masters
sure it's
of the
Frenzy?
Universe stuff too. So
Might have been a rumble.
He's been on a rumble.
it's Frenzy. It is. It is. There he is. Right there. All right, guys.
Sorry.
Thank you very much.
That went full circle back from the beginning to the end with the rumble. I like
sure
that.
did.
Well done. All during Ernie's outro too. That was
Yeah.
that was well done. Not rehearsed once, folks.
Ernie's
Nope.
holding
It
up the
isn't.
original Rumble.
Never.
That's not bad for a pre-Groundhog Day show. Well done.
Look at
Oh, that's right. You're at Groundhog Day. You celebrate that.
Groundhog Day Eve right now, folks.
That's funny.
I hope I have a rumble and a frenzy on the foot of my bed tonight.
With that, Scott.
Keep it nerdy, everybody.
She's probably
Ned?
sensitive.
Ned Ryerson.